Hello everyone, it's good to see you. Thank you very much for coming. Also, hello to everyone listening to this online. Today I want to just mention a few general points. In the beginning, at least. One point is the posture. I see few of you are sitting like this when you sit in meditation. Leaning, for example, on your backrest or something like that, like being totally comfortable or something like that, that is incorrect, that is not good for you if you practice like this. You want to build the strength in your core, build the strength in your spine, so that you're able to sit upright, keeping the spine really stretched. At the same time, you want to make sure that your body is loose and comfortable and open and all the tissues are nicely relaxed. So when you are meditating, always want to make sure that the most important element in the body here in meditation is your spine. That the spine is really nice and straight. It'll make a huge difference. And just today, one of the students that I'm working one-on-one with, he just told me after 9 hours of training together, like hour by hour, he now finally got the point why sitting upright matters so much and why the posture is the first preparation. This is very good news. He said he had extraordinary clarity in his meditation and the focus much better, and the tiredness went away that he had some problems with before in his meditation practice. So I just wanted to mention that for all of you to, when you're practicing meditation, and make sure that you're working on your posture. Really important. If you want to do training to support the body, that's the point of all those yoga stretches that people learn. That's the point. You want to be able to sit still and quiet with a nicely stretched spine. If you look at pictures of the Buddha, actually, I just heard that recently from one of my teachers. So if you look at the pictures of the Buddha, they never slouch. You don't see a Buddha who's kind of like hanging around like that. They're all like very straight, very upright. Spine is super straight. That will increase the quality of your mind a great deal, because when your spine is stretched, the central nervous system is activated, it's stretched, it's alive, it comes alive. So working on that is hard, I know. Most of you are going to complain. You're going to say, oh God, I can't do that, it's so hard, and it's so painful in my lower back, and I have this injury and that injury. Well, if you have injuries, if you have metal implants, if you have anything, something like that, you want to consult with a physician and you want to make sure that what you're doing in your training is good for you and it doesn't hurt you. But I bet all of you can build strength, particularly in the lower back, in the core of the body, so that you can support yourself and keep yourself upright. There's a whole lot of exercises, and it's mostly about building strength. Also overcoming pain when you sit. It's very often a strength issue, not so much a stretch issue. Much more a matter of strength. Anyways, you want to find somebody that can help you with that and direct you properly so that your posture becomes rock solid when you're meditating. Trust me, it will make a huge difference. There's a reason why it's the number one of the first preparation. It's what you start with. And I want to talk a little bit about something else, which is also corresponding with the current times. The whole COVID situation and the second wave and whatnot, all that sets people, of course, again into fear, of new lockdowns and new problems that are coming ahead, and financial trouble and difficulties with work and so forth. So people are heavily confronted with their fears. Fear is a survival, it goes right into your existence. your financial base, like being able to make money or not in these difficult times. It will send a lot of people into a lot of worries and doubts and insecurities and confront you heavily with your fears. So, what I would like to talk about as a central topic today is your freedom to choose what you feel and your freedom to let go of feelings that are hurting you, such as fear, worry. These are sensations in the body that make you sick. If you harbor them, if you hold on to them, they will literally make you sick. Think of a feeling, an emotion, as a sort of language, okay? And that language, it's translating your mind to your body. Okay, so your mind conjures up an image of failing, losing, being ill, getting very sick, having a whole lot of problems in the future due to the global catastrophe and whatnot. So you naturally think about these kind of things because we're confronted with them. They all matter. They matter to all of us, to our families, to our friends, to the whole situation globally. So of course all of us are affected by that. Now thinking like that creates a corresponding feeling, and that's the translation. Now you tell your body, basically, you tell your cells with this feeling what they're supposed to do. So that's what a feeling kind of is in my very limited experience. Feelings tell the body what it's supposed to do. And so when you're lying in your bed at 2 a.m. at night and you're worrying about the financial market and possible huge crash and loss of all of your finances, or loss of your loved ones who might be in hospital due to corona or something like that. In that moment, when you're in bed at night, generating that fear, what happens to your body? Your body instantly picks it up, right? It picks up the input that it gets from the mind, and it immediately reacts. How does it react? In the case of fear, it might emit adrenaline, it might release stress hormones, cortisol, etc. into your bloodstream. And if you sustain that, if you do that a lot, it becomes a habit. The same is true for depression. It's kind of like a habit of harboring sad thoughts and feelings until the whole thing becomes automated. So your body has then already learned, aha, so that's how I'm supposed to feel. There seems to be a threat. There seems to be an attack. There seems to be a difficulty, and I must do anything to fight it and react right now, because I'm obviously in a dangerous situation. Look, your body doesn't know that it's 2 a.m. and you're in bed. Your body has no idea about that. It doesn't know that. So if you think about being in a fight with your spouse that you've had five hours earlier, then the body thinks that that's the situation you're in right now. Because your brain doesn't know the difference between something that you visualize and think about, or between something that is actually literally happening in the physical realm right now. The brain doesn't know, doesn't have any clue. That's why lots of people who are into high performance sports, top athletes, they use visualization And it has been proven that visualization that engages proprioception, meaning your ability to feel inside of your body and to adjust the way you feel inside of your body, has an impact on the rate of muscle growth. Literally, you can make your muscles grow by the way you think. If it is, of course, that's not for the standard person that has no training. That is for somebody that has specific training and is able to bring up a huge amount of focus and concentration in what they do. Nonetheless, if you're able to muster that, if you're able to generate that kind of focus, and you're putting it together with a certain feeling, and you're bringing force to that, it gains momentum. So the body reacts to that. So if you're telling your body happiness, and you're having happy thoughts, and you have good thoughts, then the body naturally, as your brain doesn't know that there's maybe nothing happy happening around you right now, let's say you're not. Okay, I'll give you another example to illustrate that. Also, one of my students, she says that when the weather is bad, she feels down. That's probably something that all of us can relate to, right? The weather is bad, so I feel down. And it makes it really hard to practice. Okay? So there's a pattern that you have somehow learned and trained your body to feel a certain way when the clouds are there. Which is very easy because most people feel kind of bad when the clouds are there and when it's gray and rainy all the time, especially for a prolonged period. Right? It's difficult for us. So, since we have so much peer support in our feelings, everybody around us feels the same kind of way. It's so easy to kind of justify it. You would say, well, I can't control my feeling because it's the weather, and even the scientists, they say that if it's constantly cloudy, it has an impact on our hormonal household, and it makes us feel bad and so forth. That is true also. But we take out of the equation, we don't know the power of our own mind in shaping and generating feelings. So for example, you could train yourself to feel fantastic every time you see clouds, and make that a habit so that it becomes automatic. So every time you see clouds, you feel great. You're having a wonderful time. There's some people, they hate the rain, and some people, when they see the rain, they feel reminded of a cozy time they've had in a hut sometime in the mountains when they were there with their wife, and they had this kind of little room, and it was beautiful, and the candle was burning, and then the rain was kind of gently tapping against the windows, and it was a very nice atmosphere. And so every time when the rain comes, they feel reminded of that. So they like the rain. When they hear rain, they feel nice. Rain, wonderful. I remember one of the other students of my teacher, we had a conversation one day, and he said, I love the rain. It's so nice to meditate in the rain. It's so easy to be present and just hear the drops going on the roof and falling into the grass. And since he said that, it never went out of my mind. Every time the rain comes in, I feel like, oh wow, meditation time. It's nice to just relax and be present and hear that sound. So your words, first of all, have tremendous power. What you say to yourself, what you say out loud, everything you say is considered a spell. So use your words wisely. Use them well, especially when you're talking with yourself. Your words are magic. So if you knew the power of your words, how would you use them? How could you use them so that they become beneficial? Would you rephrase certain things that you say to yourself? Like, oh God, it's raining again. You wake up in the morning, you hear the rain, and you go, oh shit, rain again. That is kind of like a mantra. It's like a prayer. It has power when you say that. And what is the power of that? When you say that, it immediately tells your body how to feel, doesn't it? You say, right, how does your body feel then when you do that? Like maybe the shoulders even drop forward a little bit. You feel like, oh God, and then you have to lift yourself out of your bed. It feels so heavy, and then you have to comment on that also. While you're lifting yourself out of your bed, you have to go like, oh God, I just want to keep sleeping. Why does this always happen to me? Why can't I be happy? Instead I must sit here and look these words, why can't I be happy? That's a spell right there. And the answer will be, because A, B and C. Well, because the question is keeping you locked. It keeps you blocked. It's the wrong kind of question you ask yourself. Why can't I? Why can I not? Why am I always so, oh God, why always me? Why me? Wrong question. Wrong question. You could ask yourself better questions. For example, how could I feel light right now? Like, isn't that what you want? Let's say in the morning you wake up, you hear the rain, you feel really bad, you feel down. Isn't what you want to feel light, happy, spacious, at ease? And now tell me your excuse. Why can't you feel that? Now it becomes interesting. I'm really interested in hearing your excuse. Why can't you feel happy and light? Well, probably first of all you would point to the rain. You would say, maybe because it rains. All of that is an excuse. All of that, you put your power to something else. And you are the victim. If you train, you can change. The point is, you can feel what you want to feel. Do you agree or not? You can feel what you want to feel. Anything. You choose, you can feel it. If you want to feel happy, you can feel happy. All it takes is, remember when you're happy last time, or remember a happy feeling. You all know what it means to feel happy, you all do. Everybody knows how it feels like when they're feeling nice. So now you think about that. You feel when you were happy the last time. Now concentrate on it. Breathe in, you feel the happiness. Breathe out, you feel it spreading. Now for most people, they do not have a very well-trained mind, and here's the problem, that's what Pan just mentioned. The problem is, we are unable to keep our focus on what we want. Instead, our focus is led around by everything. So our mind goes over here, over there, constantly moving. You hear a chicken over there, your focus goes to the chicken. Next time you think about the chicken, you have an image in your mind, seeing the chicken. Your focus goes there. Then suddenly you're hungry. You go, I might eat some chicken. So, maybe you think about going to the motorbike now and going over to 7-Eleven, getting yourself a bit of, I don't know, whatever, chicken sandwich or something. So your whole focus goes around all the time. It bounces around. We're not able to keep our mind here. That's the problem. That's why people are victims to circumstance. But it doesn't have to be like that. And this is where training comes in. You don't have to be a victim. I think what is acceptable, you can say, well, at the moment, my mind is still so weak that I cannot focus on happiness. I still have to focus on things that I don't really want to focus on. Fair enough. then my question would be, do you want to change that? And who in their right mind would say no? Like if you had the opportunity to feel good, and I said, look, here's what you need to do to feel good. It's pretty simple. Concentrate on that. And then you would tell me, yeah, but. I would immediately know you don't really want to feel good. That's as simple as it is. The more it's not that simple, and I know I can hear a few of you already thinking, and I'm not only talking to you here, I'm talking to the guys who are listening to this online. I bet those people are listening to that. Some of you are thinking, you say it's so simple, I can't think it. Well, I ask you honestly, isn't it harder to do it without any training? Isn't life harder? Complaining and hating things and getting up in the morning, complaining for 15 minutes, or you make a little bit of effort every day and train yourself so you don't have to suffer so much. What kind of effort or what kind of hardship is worthy? Yes, I know, it's difficult to meditate. It's difficult to find time. It's difficult to train your mind, I know. But I tell you honestly, it's so much more difficult not to. What other options do we have? Like we can say, okay, I don't want to train my mind because it's so difficult. Okay, good. You've made a choice there. Then also accept the consequences of your choice. Are you ready for that? Do you want to be the person that you've been yesterday for the rest of your life? Then keep doing what you did yesterday, which is complaining about this, thinking bad thoughts, feeling fear, doing this, doing that, staying stuck in our past. Now, of course, I'm not talking about those guys who've already lifted themselves up a little bit and have some training and are able to bring their mind into a good shape. So essentially the path here is about two things. You let go of the negative and you cultivate the positive. You give energy to what you want and you abandon what you don't want. You let it go. How do you do it? How do you let something go like fear or anger or worry? How do you let it go? Well, first of all, you have to open up to it. You have to realize that it's there and it's the truth. It's right there. It's right there. It's undeniable. You're feeling bad. Can you admit that first? The first step, isn't it? I think the Alcoholics Anonymous, the first step, isn't it something like admitting that you're powerless or something like that? It's the first step. It's a process of humiliating oneself, putting yourself into a state in which you're ready to receive, in which you're ready to change. As long as you think you're strong, as long as you think, no, it's not really a problem. You can't really fix it. You can't really change it. You have to see clearly where you're hurting yourself. That's what I mean by that. It's a bit of a weird kind of example that I just gave you. But that's what I mean. In order for something to change, you have to first admit, yes, I have a problem. I have a problem. I hurt myself regularly with these feelings. Secondly, you need to notice that you have the chance to change yourself. You can change that. You can turn it around. It's in your hands. You just simply make the choice and you start training. And there is no such thing as half-hearted training. You have to commit to it. Thereby you're showing yourself that you matter to yourself. You're important enough to be lifted up. And on that, this is a process on which you are learning so much about yourself. And you keep going, you keep working on it, because it's so worth it. And it works. And it's straightforward and simple. Choose what you want. What do you really want? What do you want to feel? Go to the bottom of it. What do you want to feel? Because it's all about feelings. We're afraid of feelings. We're not afraid of a financial crash. We're afraid of how that's going to make us feel. We're not afraid of a divorce. We're afraid of how that will make us feel. And of being unable to deal with those feelings. That's because we see ourselves as unable to deal with those feelings. But that's not true. You're very able to deal with them. You can handle them. You can receive them. You can be kind to them. You have all those choices. And I encourage you all to see that clearly. Oh, I have a choice. I can open up to my darkness and I can bring light into it. And I can transform the negativity into positivity, into something good, into something uplifting. It's very basic stuff that I'm talking about today. But without it, there is no meditation. In meditation practice, you have to guide yourself in such a way. You want to have deep samadhi, deep single-pointedness, good concentration, a powerful, sharp mind. If you see yourself as not having those qualities within yourself, you're already lost. You have those qualities. The only thing that you need to do is invoke them and hold them. Concentrate on them. Grow them with your concentration. You all have the seeds in you of the highest possible states of your mind. As long as you think, oh, if I sit for 10 years, maybe then you're already lost. You're so far off track you don't even believe it. You make it happen. It is not something that happens one day if you're lucky. You build it. And we're building it by seeing it and concentrating on it, feeding it with our mind, giving it power. What you're giving power every day, that will grow. And attention gives things power. I hope it was useful and helped you a little bit to integrate into your practice and to make use of it, to really not just leave it some sort of inspiring talk or something that you just listen to and then forget. But put it into your practice. Use it. Grow it. Cultivate it. That's what it's for. Anyways. Are there any questions?